Hey everyone, welcome to my what I eat in a day video. So we're gonna get straight into it. In the morning, I pretty much always take my supplements. Every single day, I pretty much switch it up. I don't have the same vitamins every single day. So today I'm having my vitamin D and my B12. B12 mainly because I'm vegan. Well, yeah, honestly, even if you're not vegan, most people are deficient in B12. It's very hard to get enough B12 from food alone. Vitamin D, I live in Melbourne. It's pretty much gloomy every single day. And when it is sunny, I'm not really outside. So what vitamin D does is it helps with your immunity. It helps with your bone health, with your muscle health. The main thing is it increases your mood. So if you have any of those symptoms and you're feeling kind of low, you're not feeling the right, you're getting sick a lot, you might be deficient in vitamin D. So it's very important to supplement it if you are. And B12, everyone says vegans do. Well, as a vegan, you pretty much can't get B12. You can't get B12 in your diet. You can, some things like, for instance, nutritional yeast, some things are fortified with B12, but B12 is something that's in the soil. So what happens is when the animals eat that soil, it's in the meat. But these days, our soil is pretty much nutrient deficient. So either way, whether you eat meat or not, you've got a high chance that you're going to be deficient in B12. So B12 is very important because it helps with your energy levels, it helps with cognitive function, it helps with metabolizing fats, carbohydrates, protein. So if you find that you're in a calorie deficit and you're doing everything right, but you're finding it very hard to lose weight, you might be deficient in B12. So B12 is very important. Also, there's so many other things that B12 is great for, but the main thing is that it just puts me in a better mood. It helps me be more focused. So I literally can't live without B12. And when I stop supplementing it, I can tell straight away. So the other thing is a lot of people around me right now are getting sick and the weather's a bit up and down. So to prevent myself from getting sick, I like to have oil of, I was gonna say oregano. Americans say oregano, but we say oregano. So I like to have oil of oregano. So what this is, it's the oil of an oregano plant. The benefits of this is it's super antibacterial, antifungal. So when you're having this, it's pretty much preventing all the bad bacteria from building up in your body and preventing you from getting sick. So super important if you're really trying to not get sick, especially now that Americans are approaching the winter time. We're getting the change of weather as well. So yeah, I take this look, honestly, it's very strong. I do take it a couple days a week. What I do is a couple drops underneath my tongue and then I just let it sit for a couple minutes and then I wash it down with water. I'm about to go to the gym. Before I work out, I always like to fill my body with a carbohydrate source so that I've got enough energy to get through the workout and I reach my full potential. I found this bread recently from a health food store. It's a sprouted loaf. So when the bread's sprouted, it's really easy for your body to digest, unlike normal bread. It's gluten-free, it's vegan friendly, of course. And it's actually got really good macros as well. So it's only 110 calories for 2 slices. It's not super high in protein, but I'm having this mainly for the healthy carbs. And it's got 14 grams of carbs in 2 slices, which isn't bad at all. And I recently got this peanut butter. I made a TikTok on it and it did quite well. Look, it's so good. It's by the brand Mavis. It's a cookie dough choc chip peanut butter and it tastes, I feel like I've said this before, but it tastes like caramel and toffee and choc chips, and it's got those chunky pieces as well. I literally love this. So I'll have this on the toast and then I'll have some bananas with it as well. And then I like to sprinkle some hemp seeds just so I can increase the omegas and then the healthy fats as well. By the way, I like to freeze the bread because it's just me who's eating this and I can't get through a full loaf in 1 week. So I like to keep it in the freezer so it can stay fresher for longer. So I'm just gonna toast this now. This is literally the easiest pre-workout food ever. So I don't want to hear any excuses for people not eating before their workouts. It literally takes like 5 seconds. Oh, I just love when peanut butter is on warm toast and it gets like melty. Especially this one, there's like choc chips in there. It's so good. So I'm going to save the other half of the banana for my smoothie later on. And then for the hemp seeds, I always try and do little things to increase my nutrient intake for the day. So for instance, adding hemp seeds to your toast, so what it does is it helps increase your omega-3 levels, especially as a vegan because we're not eating fish and that kind of stuff. It's really helpful to have like seeds, nuts, and that's what's going to get your omega-3 levels up. And just stuff like this, like just adding it to some toast, putting it in a smoothie, that's what's going to really make a big change in your diet. So I'm going to finish this and I'll be back to make my pre-workout. I'm about to go to the gym now, so always before my workout I like to have my Oxy Shred. This one is the non-stim version because my body doesn't tolerate caffeine very well, so I always like to have the non-stim. This is amazing because what it does is it helps with cognitive function, it helps me stay focused when I'm working out, and it helps me get more reps in. Anytime that helps me with a better workout helps me achieve the goals that I want to achieve, so highly recommend Oxy Shred. I've been recently trying out creatine, and honestly I've seen such a big difference in firstly the way I recover, in my muscle growth, in my booty. Like, I'm so shocked because what it does is it draws water from your body to the muscle that you're working out. So when I have a leg day or a glute day, you can tell. So this actually helps your muscles build 30% faster than if you're not to take creatine. So I love that. And you can't even taste it as well, which is, I hate when I hate when things have like a gritty, like a powdery taste. This honestly, especially when you combine it with the Oxy Shred, you honestly can't tell that it's in there. So yes, love this. So I do 1 scoop of the creatine in my water. And then, by the way, the flavor I get is raspberry kisses. Oh, and I forgot to mention, you can use my BELLE. You can use my code BELLE, BELLE, and you get a discount off the EHP Labs website. At the moment, they've got these bundles that you can get. So once you combine it in a bundle, you can actually save additional money as well. So there is a bundle where you can pick Oxy Shred, you can pick a protein, which I'll talk about later, a blessed protein, and then a creatine as well. And then when you combine them together, you save a lot of money. And you can use the code on top of that. So really good value right now. This flavor is so yum. You know those red lolly frogs? It literally tastes exactly like that. I love this. I usually like to add some ice, but right now, because I just ate, I want my digestion to be a little bit better. So when I add ice, it slows down the digestion process. So no ice, but I'll be sipping this on the way to the gym. I'm just gonna add a little bit more water. And for the gym fit, so the top and the skirt, the leggings are from Cotton On Body. I love this shade of pink, it's so pretty. And then I've got this, I think this is actually from Cotton On Body as well, just because it's a little bit cold outside, so this is just to keep me warm. And the sneakers, let's not talk about that. I got them like 12,000 years ago, and they're not even that nice. So yeah, I'm about to head to the gym and I'll see you guys later. Sorry, I'm all sweaty. I just finished up at the gym. I'm about to head to the grocery store to go buy some things to make for lunch. Oh, I just feel so good. I had such a good workout. It's just that feeling after the gym. Like, if you're not working out, honestly, I don't know what you're doing. You're missing out on this feeling. Anyway, I'm going to head to the grocery store and I'll see you guys there. I swear, ever since I made that video, this has been sold out.
Code.
So I just got back from the store and I got a bunch of things. Firstly, my favorite pasta ever. This is the Slendia spaghetti pasta. It's made out of edamame beans. So it's basically very low carb, very high protein. So there's 7.5 grams of protein per serve. And there's 4 in this packet, so very good. Always gonna stock up on some tofu. So make sure if you're getting tofu, make sure it's organic. And then I just got some cherry tomatoes, some silken tofu because I use this to make sauces and desserts and things. Just some soy yogurt, a cucumber for something that I'm making right now, some carrots, and then some limes. I'm not sure why I got limes. And some celery just so I can snack on. So the other day on TikTok, I saw this girl and she made like this giant rice paper roll. So instead of making like 4 small ones, she put all the rice paper wrappers together and she made a giant one. And I was like, that's such a good idea. And the weather's nice, it's warm now. I feel like that would be so nice, like nice and crunchy with the Asian flavors. So I've got a couple ways as well to make that higher in protein. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the high protein noodles. And then I'm going to actually put some tofu as well inside. So it's going to have about, say, 15 grams of protein from the noodles and then say another 15 grams of protein from the tofu. So it's just, you got to do stuff like, when you're vegan, you got to do stuff like that to get your protein intake up, because if you're just eating carbohydrates and you're working out as well, it's not going to do it. So you got to really make sure that you do small things here and there to get the protein levels up. In saying that, I just finished my workout, so I'm going to actually make a protein shake now to once again increase my protein levels for the day. But before I do that, I'm going to make the protein shake. So when I make a protein shake, I like to start with my liquid. So I've just got some water in the cup, and then I'm going to add some coconut water. I do this for the electrolytes and the minerals. Just a little bit. And then some soy milk. I always drink soy milk, make sure it's organic. This one isn't, but generally I like to buy organic soy milk. The soy milk also has extra protein, so I don't like almond milk. It's literally just like 1 almond and the rest is water. So soy milk is definitely my preferred vegan milk. And then my favorite part, the BELLE protein. I am literally obsessed with this flavor. It's a cookies and cream. Tastes like cookies and cream. Like, it's really good. And I'm not just saying that because I partner with EHP. It was way before the sponsorship. I was buying this from Chemist Warehouse, so I've been a fan for years. It's hard to get good quality vegan protein, you know? Some of it just tastes like mud and water. And gritty, I'm not a fan, but this is really good. And then I've got the banana from breakfast, the other half. And then I like, instead of nut butter, because I had the peanut butter for breakfast, I like to add tahini. Super high in calcium, which is really important, especially as a vegan. And I just love the nutty taste of tahini. I'm Middle Eastern, so I've grown up on tahini. It's just, I love that flavor in my smoothie as well. And then I just add some maca powder. So this helps balance your hormones. It also helps with energy. As you can see, I don't measure anything. It's basically like a teaspoon. I also love the flavor of the maca. It kind of has like a caramelly flavor. But yeah, this is super good for you, especially women. You should be having maca powder every single day. It's super good for balancing your hormones. I can hear the water's ready. There's something else. Oh. The other thing I like to put is really good quality chocolate. My brother actually bought this. It's 100% cacao. So it's not nice to eat by itself. It's super bitter, but it's very good for you because it's very high in magnesium. And I like the taste of chocolate as well. Oh, one more thing. And then I just add a sprinkle of Celtic salt. The salt, I always put salt with when I'm making something sweet just to bring out the sweetness. But the Celtic salt is extremely good for you because it's full of minerals and you really need that after a workout so you can help replenish the salt levels in your body. So yeah, this is pretty much like a superfood smoothie without it tasting like a superfood smoothie. That's always the aim. You don't want it to taste healthy. And the other thing is when I blend my smoothie, I blend it first without ice and then I add the ice in later. I feel like the texture is just so much better when you add the ice in after it's been blended a little bit. It smells so good. It literally smells like Oreos. This reminds me actually, I just got a delivery from Amazon and I'm gonna need it right now. I think I know what it is. I'll be one sec. Yes, this is what I think it is. I've wanted these cups for so long. I see all the girls with these cups on social media and I'm like, I really want them. So, got them from Amazon the other week. Let's see how they look. Hopefully they're big enough. Ooh, it comes with straws too. Yes, you can never have too many glass straws. Oh, and they're long as well. What's this? Okay. I've wanted these for so long. How pretty are they? And it's got a lid as well. And then you've got the straws. I can't wait. All right, I'm just gonna go wash it and then use it for my smoothie. Yum. Also, I forgot to mention you can use my code BELLE, B-E-L-L-E, on the EHP Labs website. That's where they sell the Blessed. And I highly recommend, like if you really want to get into vegan protein, this is like the best. And the flavor, cookies and cream, don't miss out on that flavor, honestly. Alright, the water's pretty much done now, so I'm going to boil the noodles and then I'm going to start chopping the veggies for the rice paper rolls. Okay, so first before we start chopping the veggies, we're going to marinate the tofu and pop it in the oven. Like I said, I'm only going to use half. Put the rest back in the fridge. I'm just going to rinse my tofu. I always like to wash it before I use it. It just has that soybeany taste if you don't wash it. So I'll be right back. So I'm going to dice it into small cubes. Just the tofu in a bowl. I'm going to add some sesame oil and then a little bit of rice wine vinegar. So the key with cooking, you've got to balance the acidity with the sweet and the salty. So if you've got that mastered, then anything you make is going to taste good. And then just a little bit of onion powder. And then some garlic granules, because I love garlic. And then some light soy sauce. and some dark soy for the color. Just a splash of that. And then this is a sweetness, just a little bit of maple syrup. So just give that a good stir through. So all the tofu is covered with that yummy sauce. So we're just going to julienne the carrots and the cucumber.
Waiting yet? The fireworks.
Yeah. I think I know. Look, they have Cartier rings on sheet. No. Okay, so I just had a shower, got changed into some comfy clothes, and I'm about to make dinner. Before I make dinner, I'm gonna make myself an Oxygreens cocktail. Well, it's not really a cocktail, it's just the glass. I like to sip on this while I'm making dinner just for the extra nutrients and also to kickstart my digestion. I don't do a full scoop just because it's a smaller glass. I love this flavor. This and the, I think it's called strawberry margarita. Oh my gosh, they're so yum. The only greens powders I can actually tolerate the taste of. And it's not gritty as well, it blends in really well. And with the Oxygreens as well, you can use my discount code BELLE, B-E-L-L-E, on the EHP Labs website. And then you'll get a discount off that as well. So for dinner, I don't really feel like making something too complex. I just did all that chopping. I just want it to be nice and simple. So this is honestly one of my favorite, easiest, high protein, super good for you vegan recipes and very, very tasty. It's a chickpea/tofu butter chicken curry. And with this, it's very high in protein, it's very delicious, and it's like one of the easiest things to make, you'll see. So firstly, what I'm gonna do actually, instead of eating it with rice, just for the extra protein, for the extra protein and the extra nutrients, I'm gonna make some quinoa. Quinoa is super simple, you just follow the packet instructions. And I feel like with quinoa, it's not as hard as rice. I know rice is super easy to make, but I feel like with rice, there's a lot of room for error. With quinoa, you just literally, no matter how much water, well, to a certain extent, but no matter how much water you add, it's like it cooks really easily. So I'm gonna boil the water for the quinoa now, and as I do that, I'm gonna prepare the curry. So I'm gonna start with the quinoa, and as that cooks, I'm gonna prepare the curry, because the curry is literally so easy. It takes like 20 minutes to make. So when you're cooking quinoa, you gotta make sure that you rinse it and drain it really well, because sometimes quinoa can get a little bit gritty. So I've got 1 cup of quinoa. It's literally so easy, it's just 1 part quinoa and 2 parts water. And then I've got 2 cups of water in here. So I'm just gonna add 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. I like to use Celtic salt for all the minerals. And then just a little bit of olive oil. So I'll just put it on the stove on a high heat, and once the water starts to boil, I'll turn it all the way down, and then I'll just let it simmer. And it takes about, I think 15 minutes? Yeah, about 10 to 15 minutes. And I'll cover it as well. Okay, so for the chickpea curry, it's super simple. I'm just gonna cut up, I've got half an onion, and then I wanna dice up 2 cloves of garlic, and then just a little knob of ginger, about that much. Okay, so in the pan, we're just gonna add some olive oil. And we're gonna add in our onion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crumble up this tofu into chunks. You can cube it if you like, but I feel like the texture of the chunks is a little bit better for this curry, because then it absorbs a little bit more flavour. Okay, so that's been sauteing for about 5 minutes, so we're going to add our ginger and garlic now and cook that for a further 2 minutes. Okay, so now we're going to add our chunks of tofu, and we're just going to get a little bit of colour on the tofu. That's been cooking for about 5 minutes now, so I'm going to add 2 really big teaspoons of good quality butter chicken powder. And then a little bit more. And then you want to coat the tofu with the curry powder. Whenever you're cooking curry, you want to fry off your spices for a couple of minutes before you start adding the other ingredients, and that brings out the flavour of the spices. While that's toasting, I'm just going to rinse a can of organic chickpeas. It's really important whenever you're cooking with any types of canned beans that you rinse it really well, because sometimes that liquid kind of upsets your stomach a little bit. So always rinse and drain your chickpeas really well. So in with the chickpeas. Just give that a quick stir. At this point now, I'm just going to add a little bit of sea salt. Always salt your food as you're cooking, not just one big pile of salt at the end, because that's what gives it more flavour. And then we're going to pour in 1 can of diced tomatoes. I'm going to fill up this can about halfway with water so I can get the extra tomato from the can. And then I'm going to put a little bit of chicken stock, well, vegan chicken stock. So I've got the vegan chicken stock, just in with a little bit of that. And then in with about 3/4 of a can of the organic coconut milk. I like to do 3/4 because I'll leave a quarter just to drizzle with at the end. The coconut milk tends to separate a little bit, so you want to make sure you mix it in really well. Add about 3/4 of the can. Leave I've turned that up as well, so I'm gonna bring it to boiling temperature, then I'm gonna turn it all the way back down. So it can cook for about 15 minutes. I'm just gonna give it a quick taste to see if it needs anything. Always taste your food, because sometimes you don't know if you've under-seasoned or if you're over-seasoned. That's perfect. I'm just gonna add a squeeze of lime. And a little bit of coriander. If you don't like coriander, of course don't add it, because there's some people who I'm not a fan of that don't like coriander. I'm definitely not one of those. And it's done. Now just some of the curry. You can never have enough coriander, in my opinion. Now the taste test. This has so much flavor. It's so like comforting. I love curries. And it's full of protein. You've got the protein from the chickpeas, you've got the protein from the tofu, you've got the protein from the quinoa. It's got healthy fats from the coconut oil and the olive oil. Super good for you. And so delicious. It's literally the easiest meal. I've also made this with these, I buy these high protein pizza bases and then I brush them with garlic oil and then I make like a garlic naan. So that's really nice as well with this. Or you can just have it with white rice. So I'm gonna finish this off, go watch some TV, and then I'll be back for dessert. Okay, so for dessert, I'm so excited for this recipe. So it's the viral date cake that, you know the TikToker, if you guys follow her name's Danielle. So she made this on TikTok and everyone's been recreating it. And I thought I'd make like a mini version of it. So it's just dates. She makes it with dates, almond flour, some chocolate chips, and then a few other things. So I'm gonna make that now for dessert. Ooh. All right, so we're gonna take the pips out of the dates first, then we're gonna chop them up. So I've got just about 1.5 cups of water in there, and then I'm gonna pop the dates in while it's still cold. And then she said to add some baking soda so that it breaks down the dates a little bit quicker. So I'm gonna grab some baking soda, add that in there. Just a little bit. I'm just using a really good quality sea salt Hana chocolate. Half the block. Okay, so 5 minutes later you should have something like this. It doesn't look very beautiful, but trust me, it's gonna all come together. It smells really good too. It smells like caramel. So we're just gonna add a dash of soy milk. She uses coconut oil, but I'm just gonna use some olive oil. Just to give her that richness. Just a splash of maple syrup. And then we're gonna add the almond flour. I like the way she made this. She didn't really give any measurements, and that's kind of how I cook. So you're just gonna add it until it seems like it's the right consistency. Add some cinnamon. So I'm just going to spray it with some olive oil spray just so they don't stick. I'm just going to flatten that down. And now now I'm just gonna pop these in the oven for about, I think 10-15 minutes, and I'll see how they're going. Oh my gosh, this looks incredible. The chocolate is nice and gooey. I can't wait. The moment of truth. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Just look at that. If there's anything you try from this video, oh my gosh, this is so good. There's no way you would think in a million years this is vegan. There's no way. Alright, so I'm about to get ready for bed. Thank you guys so much for watching my What I Ate in a Day video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Good night.